you have a lot of experience giving foot jobs?
Not as much as I should.
Okay.
It's something I should definitely work on.
Hey, and we could shoot your, we have pretty good lighting here. We could shoot your foot job virginity. Yeah, you don't talk with your hands.
I don't talk with my hands.
Okay. That's a good way to start a podcast.
I sit on my
Yeah. Welcome back, guys. It's Ben the Menace. We got a great guest. Riley, you might know who she is. Riley Nixon is here, everybody. Let's give it up for Riley Nixon. Welcome her. Yeah. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
We were talking earlier about judging people, and you said you're judging everybody in the room. Do you have any snap judgments off the top of your? How are you feeling? Be honest. You can be honest.
When I walked in, it seemed very. I mean, the temperature was warm in a good way, and I
Mm-hmm.
felt the energy was warm,
Mm-hmm.
welcoming.
Yeah,
I was offered some water.
it's good.
I was offered a toilet.
Yep.
I feel.
I always say, hey,
comfortable.
would you like a toilet?
I love a toilet. I feel good. I don't sense any red flags.
Good. Hey, that's great. And you, I don't know if we want to jump into this immediately, but I'm sure you've been in situations where you're like, what did I just walk into?
Yeah, couple. Those were like some one-on-one situations.
Oh, right.
Like, oh, well, here's the next hour.
No, we can be upfront. I mean, you have a big fan base who knows exactly what you do. They love the stuff that you've done, and it's been. I mean, how long have you been in? Do you want to call it adult film? Yeah. How long have you been?
Officially, I entered January 2016.
Okay.
But I had a scene that was like maybe like 4 or 5 months prior,
Mm-hmm.
and that was when I found on Craigslist.
Oh, is that how you started? That was the beginning?
That was my first scene, and then because I was just nude modeling and doing like Model Mayhem and Craigslist stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was scouted on Model Mayhem by an agent January 2016. So that's when I like officially entered, because the scene that I did before was like not. I mean, it was for a website, but like they only shoot first time.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, so you did like a casting couch thing.
Yeah, it was exploited college girls.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty on the nose.
I was not currently in school, but I was of the age.
Interesting. Well, I mean, they're being honest.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those, I'm like, this girl's not getting exploited.
I didn't feel exploited though.
Okay, well, you agreed to it.
Oh, well, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. So that's how it starts. Is Craigslist normal? Is that where this starts?
I don't think so. I think, well, also this was before like Backpage was taken down, and I think this was also before the like personal ads on Craigslist were. I don't think they're on there.
I'm supposed to say I couldn't tell you. I look at them all the time.
I really just saw that Backpage, like a trailer with the Backpage logo on it. Like,
yeah. I feel like that's dead. I feel like that's just like there's like so many layers of scams on something like Backpage now. It's not trustworthy, so then nobody does it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And Craigslist must be similar.
Yeah, I don't think there's even a section to do anything like that anymore.
Okay.
Like the woman seeking man, like that section, I don't think exists anymore. But at the time, like there was like fetishy stuff happening on Craigslist and some modeling stuff. And then I don't even remember what the ad was for this porn shoot. But it wasn't like misleading. It was like I understood it was a porn shoot, and I don't really remember much of it. Like leading up to it. The scene
generally not a great sign.
No, like leading up to like the booking and like the schedule. Like I don't remember like how much information I was given, but
okay,
it was good. And there was a makeup artist, and she stayed the whole time, which like made me feel better.
Yeah, that's good.
And it was the most money I'd ever made in one day. And
are you willing to divulge? I talk about money sometimes.
I don't remember how much it must have been around like $1,000.
That's
a basic boy girl rate, but
one day shoot, that's pretty good.
I ended up doing anal,
mm-hmm.
and just because it was like brought up, and I was like, I love anal, and they're like, do you want to do it? And I didn't know that there was like different rates for like different.
Oh, interesting.
Apps,
well, also I was gonna say I've seen
my anal.
No, I think I have. I'm sure I've seen it. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you've just been online, you're gonna see some stuff. Yeah, I've seen some of your stuff. But I've seen you, and I want to talk about this eventually. I've seen you with a totally different look, short hair, blonde hair.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Buzz cut.
Yeah. They said something about butts. I was like, did you have two butts? And I remember like Canada was like heavily, they had like maybe a Canadian flag, if I remember anything accurately. For some reason, like they branded you though. Like there was like a brand.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Were you even aware of the branding? Or maybe I'm misremembering. I have no idea.
I don't think I've ever done a scene where there was a Canadian flag.
Okay, then I'm just conflating
but I have some,
things.
Like, fan art that I've posted that
had Canada.
I was like a Canadian superhero with like Canadian.
That's cool.
Outfit.
First ever, possibly Canadian superhero.
I think. Well, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we'll get to that eventually. But no. Okay, so I've seen porns where they go, "This is my first anal ever, and I'm doing it on this," and I'm sure that's a bigger payday. And they really play it up. It's built up like crazy, and I'm sure there are people who love they want to see the first one on camera.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people are obsessed with virginity, so it's like.
That's true.
Quite see that.
Those people are, if you ask me, weird. Those are weird people. But yeah, no, I get it. And it's your anal virginity or whatever. Yeah.
And I do wish that I wish I would have waited.
Well, yeah, if you were like,
I didn't know.
Yeah, if you had like a brilliant porn agent, they'd be like, "Save this, don't do that."
Not even brilliant. They all say that.
Oh, really? Okay, sorry, just a moron.
So no. So like when I got in,
did you have like
I was scouted by the agent. I had already shot a scene, and it was anal, and they're like, "Well,
you blew it." Yeah, that's funny.
So then my first scene with the agent, I think, was a girl scene, and that was my second time ever doing anything with a girl. The first time was like a week prior. And then the next scene was another anal scene, so I don't even know when my first like pussy scene was.
That's very funny. Well, it also sounds like you did almost the antithesis of what the agent tells you to do. Yeah. You lost all your virginities like right away.
Did not.
Well, and it worked. Yeah,
it worked. I mean, it could have worked better.
Okay, here's something. Oh, no, go for it.
I was gonna say, but now, like, I'm playing with the idea of going back to shooting.
Oh, interesting.
I have hair, so it's like I can have all the firsts all over again.
So, like, first anal with hair.
Yeah. Yeah. Like people have been like hounding me about it.
Yeah. Riley's first hair anal.
Hairy anal.
That'll get hits. People will watch that. Well, and you can you're going to maintain the same name.
Yes.
Or yeah. But in theory you could come you have to?
Well, I don't have to, but like why wouldn't I?
Yeah, and people know you, and also you're bringing a fan base with you, which obviously is good. People want that. Okay, well then, like, now I feel like we're doing like a Charlie Rose interview, but it's good, like a porny Charlie Rose, serious. What made you want to go? Like, what made you not want to do it, or want to go like private and kind of do your own thing, and then go back? What made you want to go back?
Well, I mean, eventually COVID like stopped me from shooting with anyone. My body went through huge fluctuations. Like I was super, super tiny when I got in the industry, like 105 pounds or something. And then as I gained weight, like companies stopped wanting to shoot you because you don't look the same anymore. So then I was just shooting for myself and shooting with like doing trade shoots with people. And then COVID. So then I was just shooting by myself.
On your own. Is that what everyone did? I guess, right? Yeah.
And that's actually, it made me feel guilty that like financially I was doing okay. Like during like 2020, like OnlyFans was doing really well in 2020.
Yeah, absolutely.
It came out making like what?
You didn't make what Bad Baby made?
Oh my god, no.
Didn't she make like $50 million?
I saw that. She made like
hey, I think Dr. Phil even said it. He was like, we didn't really see her turning into. He was like, I had her on, and she was a problem. She was a bad kid, and now she has more money than me somehow. So, but you did well, and you support yourself, and you feel guilty because other people don't have anything. Because there are homeless people.
I mean, like during COVID, like my OnlyFans got better.
Yeah. I think that's a common trajectory. The people are home, yeah, and it was new too. It like just took really off, right?
New. I mean, I've had my OnlyFans since 2016.
Really?
Yeah.
It's that old?
An app.
Damn, I missed the precipice of OnlyFans. I had no idea.
I just never focused on it because I didn't feel the need to, because I was shooting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like the most common piece of advice I got when I entered the industry was that. After you've shot for someone on set, when you go home, go shoot something for yourself because you're never going to get another dollar off of that scene. So you need to like build up your own content.
Got it.
And I think I took too long to do.
Well, it's the difference between being like, working for a company and being an entrepreneur, basically. Yeah. And you learned how to do that on your own. Would you want to shoot your own stuff?
Yeah.
Like run your own company, do your own shoots?
I'm currently in the process of possibly being hired by a company to direct for them.
Nice.
We'll see. I don't know. But now I'm also like probably getting back into performing. So I don't know. We'll see.
You do both.
They're a European-based company, so.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see.
Quentin Tarantino's in a lot of his movies. He can do it. It can be done.
Maybe not as much.
Wait, I missed that.
He likes feet.
Oh, does he?
You didn't know that?
No, I actually never heard that.
Every single one of his movies is like a feet scene.
I guess that makes sense. Legs and feet and yeah.
Do you like feet?
No, I'm not a feet. Yeah, you want to get into what's wrong with me?
What's right with you?
Yeah, what's wrong with me? No, feet don't come up much in my head.
So they don't bother you?
No, I'm not opposed to feet. I've seen feet where I'm like, hey, that's nice foot.
Yeah.
Hey, good for you.
Like if a girl wanted to give you a foot job.
You know what I would like?
You be able to stay hard?
You know what I would like about that? The answer is I'll never be able to stay. No, I'm just kidding. I probably could stay hard, but it depends on context. It's like is it really good? Like, are we already in a good place? And then she's like, Tom, let's bring out the feet. You know, that could happen theoretically. I think that it would have to be like, I'm really into the whole situation, and then the reason I'm into the feet is because it's like, what's happening? This is crazy. We shouldn't be. You don't do it. You don't fuck feet. This is not how it happens. That's probably what would get me off. Yeah, feet are supposed to be on the ground, and now they're on my penis. That would be the exciting part. Not like, in and of itself, I'm not like having fantasies about feet.
It'd have to be a good foot job. Foot jobs are hard.
Do you have a lot of experience giving foot jobs?
Not as much as I should.
Okay.
It's something I should definitely work on.
Hey, and we could shoot your, we have pretty good lighting here. We could shoot your foot job virginity.
I have done it. Okay. Foot job scene. It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Takes a lot of I have pretty good core strength, but
Oh, sure. Well, you're it's like a Pilates move, kind of.
It's hard.
Well, I mean, there's
my favorite thing
when it comes to having sex, and in the umbrella of that, I mean, you're always doing porn, you're having sex. There's a lot of athleticism involved in a lot of this stuff, and I never thought about foot jobs relying on some athleticism, but of course,
they're hard to do.
It's like being on a Pilates reformer. There are a lot of housewives who don't even know they'd be great at giving foot jobs.
I recently started going to Pilates, on the machine.
It's good, right?
I love it. I love laying down.
There you go. That makes a ton of sense.
And is that why I'm submissive? Is it just because I'm lazy? I like things done to me.
Yeah. But you get, I feel like Pilates makes you better at getting things done to you. Mm-hmm. Better at receiving.
Mm-hmm. I'm great at receiving.
Yeah.
I'm great at giving. I'm great.
Yeah, I mean, I know anyone who's watching right now, I think full-heartedly agrees. That's why they're watching. Yeah. But that's interesting. Yeah, foot job. I'm trying to think of what would really, anal would be similar. I'm just like, it doesn't go there, you know, and that's exciting because of that on some level.
Have you never been in the butt?
Of course, no, I've been in plenty of butts.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But the thing that's particularly exciting about that is not like the butt itself. It's that I'm not supposed to be in the butt.
It's multi-year.
Yeah, yeah. Or you know, if a girl was, I've had this where a girl's like, I've had, here's one very specific situation. She was like, I'm on my period, so we have to put it in the butt. That's not that attractive. You're not like, oh yeah, let's do this. But
I like period sex.
no. Well, what is the hacky joke? I'll run that red light. No, of course, period sex is fine.
Yeah.
But if anal comes up first, maybe not quite as like really exciting, but if anal is like, oh, maybe why are we doing this? I know, let's not. Whether or not it's fake, it's like, I can't handle that's there you go. That's interesting. I guess what I'm getting to is like if my thing is anything, it's and this is a bad thing to have. Please don't. but it's okay. But like obviously it's acceptable.
Yes.
But we shouldn't. That's exciting.
That is fun.
Yeah.
I like that.
And well, and I feel like I'm sure in your personal life that comes up, but that might be a little. If you're doing that in porn, it's more of like a fantasy, right? Which is still can be good role play.
Yeah.
I mean, really, a lot of if you break it down, I'm having this realization now. Porn is like expert role play,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Has anyone said that before? I'm sure someone said that before, but I feel like that was a pretty good insight. No, but you're like, I mean, you're acting, of course. It's called acting,
Yeah.
but it's really what it is like if you're married and you're like, we gotta spice it up. I'm a cheerleader. You're just like the best at doing that.
It's complete role play.
Yeah.
And I've only done, like, I've never, like, it's like method acting.
Yeah.
I've never done that in my personal life.
100%.
Like,
That would be
life, like, we do the things, like.
Yeah, sure.
But never, like, as a character.
Yes.
Like, a specific, like.
You're not Lincoln while you're doing it.
I've been watching Broad City and I'm like, link it. Like,
oh, that's
Lincoln.
funny. Yeah. Oh, no, yeah. Not Hannibal Buress. I like that show too. Well, when you said method acting, I immediately thought of Daniel Day-Lewis living like Abe Lincoln for like years. So he's ready. And it would be the most hilarious thing would be someone doing that for an Abe Lincoln porn. They like have wooden teeth for a while because they're ready for the. But on some level, that's what you're doing. No. I wouldn't want to watch Abe Lincoln get fucked. I don't think I'd want to watch that. Abe Lincoln having sex, maybe that might be fun. I heard he was gay too, so maybe it would actually be Abe Lincoln getting fucked. Yeah.
Probably would be.
I wouldn't tune in, but I fully support it. It's on some level it's like one method acting job to another. You're pretending to be someone, you know, so and so's the pool boy. What's the okay, here's and that's like a cliche, of course, but what was the most difficult role play you've ever done? What was the hardest for you to get into?
I can't think of like a very specific like scene, but there have been scenes where they want you to, like, you're a couple and they want you to argue. And I don't do that.
That's funny. No, you're such a pleasant
hard.
person. I can imagine that would be tough to get. And I actually, what I've heard about acting in general is that, and I don't do a lot of acting. I'm usually just myself if I'm on camera at all. Being angry is actually the easiest thing to do because it's like such a heightened emotion. People know how to get there really fast.
I don't.
That's not your thing.
It's like so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, I feel so embarrassed doing it. It's really embarrassing. Like, I watch people on set and they just like the bickering, the bit, like the back and forth.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Like, how are they coming out of your mouth? Like, I can't, like.
I mean, some people are fucked up. Some people, that is interesting. So that's usually the hardest. And you get asked to do that a lot, or do people know that that's not your thing?
I don't tell anyone that.
Okay.
that didn't come up too often. Because most times I was always like a babysitter. It is a lot of improving, which really, really scared me at first.
So the scripts are not really that developed. They're not doing like line by line.
It really depends on the company. A lot of the like gonzo porn.
That's like real life porn.
Like handheld camera, like getting wherever they need to go. That's just like, oh, okay, like you're gonna be this and you're gonna be this. It's a. That's really funny. Movie,
well, that's like if anybody makes sketches for something, a very poorly constructed. What if you? This is gonna be so bad.
That's how it works. And then there's other companies where it's a full blown script, like long script.
Really? So how many pages typically?
A lot.
10, 20 sometimes?
More than that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a whole movie. There's like a real narrative to the story. Okay, I've seen stuff like that. Yeah.
And then there's other ones where they are scripted, but it's not like this huge long movie, but it is still like scripted.
Mm-hmm.
Just like more cutesy and just compact little like vignettes that are scripted.
Right. That seems like. I'm getting a note that you should go mic closer to your mouth. What am I supposed to say? You're the one who noticed it. Yeah.
Just tell her to getting a note.
Well, I didn't notice. Yeah, but I guess, closer. And also, could you pretend to be angry for the rest of the episode? No, don't worry about that.
I'm going to cry.
I almost cried last episode. It's all right. Yeah, you can cry. It was, I was just like being very honest, and I realized I was like tired because I just been doing a lot of stuff. And towards the end of it, I was like, am I about to tear up? This is insane. Yeah. And it was involuntary. It was weird. Yeah, it's fine. It happens. It happens. Actually, I would guess has almost never happened on a podcast. But yeah, it might happen right now.
Cry for me.
Yeah. What was I going to say? So, actually, I was asked to write a gay porn once. Very long. This is a very long-winded story, but I was working at a gym. That actually it could just be a gay porn in and of itself.
Yeah,
just person working at gym. Yeah. And this dude I worked with was like, I'm starting this gay porn. He's a gay guy. I'm starting a gay porn company. I know that you do comedy and you write stuff. Why don't you write me some scripts and send them over? And I wrote like some detailed.
This is too good. I can't use it.
I wrote some stuff that I liked, like I was excited about. I wrote like a really long-winded thing about this guy who's like doing valet. He works valet for. No. He didn't say only gym-based porns. This guy, I was like, this guy is working valet, and then the guy in a Maserati pulls up. And convinces him to like he'll help him out financially and just quit your job, get in the car. He does it. But it turns out the valet guy's apartment is closer by, and they go to his apartment. It's like really shitty. It's like in a bad neighborhood. You know, it's on like, when bad neighborhoods are but good neighborhoods. It's in one of those. There's like flies in the lights, and there's buzzing, and the guy doesn't want to be gay, and then the Maserati guy convinces him, and the guy read my script, and he was like, could you cut this Woody Allen bullshit? This is like way too nuanced. I was writing like little jokes into the dialogue. He was like, pick a place, they fuck there. That's the porn. Steam room, sex. So that's it.
He didn't get the job.
No. I also think he didn't have a company, and may or may not wanted to just like see if I was gay. That's
like jack off content.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even consider that. But he just like was like, oh, he's jerking off to scripts. That's an interesting thing to be into. Yeah, that could have been it. He was trying to heighten things for himself, and he also told me he was really into turning straight guys. So that could have been some of it.
A common trope.
Yeah. So the scripts can be
lengthy.
Whole movie, aliens attack, you know.
I haven't seen anything like that.
Okay.
My favorite scripted one I've done is a nun movie. And they've done 2 now, and I was in the first one. It was called Confessions of a Sinful Nun. That was like
that'd be a good role for you.
Yeah. I got nominated for Best Lesbian Sex Scene for that one.
Wow. Like, and you were a nun having lesbian sex.
Yes.
That sounds pretty good. We were just talking about taboo. That sounds right up my alley.
Yeah.
People who shouldn't be. I wish, and again, I'm. We may have to cut this out. Muslim, nun.
Does that exist?
No, I don't know.
I don't know what the equivalent is.
Taboo's good though.
Yeah, I like taboo.
Yeah. What's the? Is that the best taboo? I mean, it was like award winning, so it must be up there.
I was also nominated for most outrageous sex scene.
Really?
I didn't think it was that outrageous, but
I feel like the bar is pretty high,
didn't
right?
Win. It was a bukkake. So it's only supposed to be like it was me and Nina L. I don't know if you know who she is. And we did kind of a little bit of a girl scene in the beginning.
You could easily jog my memory. You could just show my
Blonde,
photo.
big tits. And then there was like a bunch of dudes and they all jacked off on her face. Like probably like 15 or 20.
Yeah. But that's like a pretty standard bukkake, right? Yeah.
But then I like fucked a bunch of them.
After.
Like right after they
while covered.
Yeah.
That sounds.
We're not supposed to have sex. They were tested. Like they had to get tested, but
I might have even seen that
like,
in hindsight.
Do you know Nolan? He's friends with Emily.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
He was there. That's how I met him. He did not come on me. He was there.
He was just one of the guys
filming.
Got it.
For a drum box.
He didn't take part.
No.
Okay.
No.
I do know Nolan.
Yeah.
Good guy. I've known Nolan forever, actually.
Yeah.
That's how we know each other.
Mm-hmm.
He used to run a place called Drone Box where I would shoot sketches that were equivalent to those really bad porns that you did. Where everyone's like, "What if you did?" And then it was just horrible.
Yeah, I shot a few things there.
Did you really?
Oh
okay.
Yeah, I got like super drunk and we filmed a bunch. Yeah, it was fun.
It was a fun place.
Yeah, it was really fun.
It was like he had like professional equipment, amazing stuff. He had like a sitcom set and then like a 360 stage,
a
kitchen in the middle of Boyle Heights, which was not a good neighborhood.
It was like an old, I think it used to be a movie theater.
Okay.
Yeah, so he had like an apartment upstairs and then all the filming space down. It was so cool.
It was.
I was sad when that ended.
Didn't someone break in?
I don't know. I mean, probably.
That's what I heard. Because when I started going there in like 2017, that was not a nice place. I think it's gentrified. I'm sure it's like better than it was, but it's still not like an amazing place to have a studio or with like a lot of great stuff in the studio. Interesting. So that was What do you think is the what was the category again that you were nominated for? What were
most outrageous.
What do you think is the most like in your head the most outrageous thing
that I've done?
Yeah, or that you're aware of. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'm so desensitized. I guess it just depends on like what category. Like I think it's funny seeing like I have friends who did like they ate like cereal and milk out of each other's butts. I thought that was pretty cool.
Awesome.
But not even then just doesn't seem like that like crazy to me.
Well, see, I wouldn't call that outrage. I would just call that maybe hilarious.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel very desensitized.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's
all just fun and funny.
Yeah, well, it's a good time.
Yeah.
You feel like you're desensitized in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't seem like bad. I don't know. It's all just fun.
Yeah.
Like everyone's just having fun.
I think best case scenario. That's what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get paid to have a good. Basically, you get. Getting paid on paper to come, that's pretty good. I guess as a dude. No,
I'm so glad that I'm not.
You're not a dude.
Penis haver. Yeah.
It's a pretty tough job.
I can't even imagine.
You gotta be able to do it
fake it
on command. Can't fake anything. Yeah.
I mean, I've definitely done scenes.
We can't fake squirting, and I see a lot of that.
Yeah, actually, I have.
You can fake squirting?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I didn't start squirting till after I was only like, I don't have any scenes in the industry where I'm squirting.
Okay.
Because I didn't really. I mean, maybe like a little bit in like a kink scene or something. But I just didn't really think that I was super capable.
Sure.
But then I was shooting a lot for myself for OnlyFans. I'm like, oh, I can squirt. But I did do one scene in the industry where they wanted squirting, and I'm like, I don't don't really think I can. So they just had me like put water inside myself. Like a douche.
Behind the music. This is crazy.
But that's very rare. That's
okay, that doesn't happen a lot.
No, yeah.
But they just needed some squirting.
I mean, some girls will pee.
Hey, in movies, they've put fake snow on the ground,
Whatever.
you know?
Yeah.
It rains when it's not singing in the rain. It wasn't raining.
I've done a few fake pop shots. Like, a lot of times when you do... So you'll take, like, all the pictures of all the positions, and sometimes you do that before you do the video of the sex, or sometimes you do it after. But then you take pictures of, like, the cum shot all over the face. And a lot of times you'll either use... If the load's good, you'll just use that and take pictures.
No.
Or you'll add some, like, Cetaphil.
Which looks very similar.
It looks the same.
Yeah.
Or if like you're
I've
taking
done
them
that.
before the sex
Mhm.
and you haven't done the pop shot, then they'll just like put no, that doesn't make any sense. Because then they would be all over your makeup. But Cetaphil is used sometimes.
They're just
Or that coconut.
Oil or
No, like for drinks. It's like in a squeeze bottle. It's like coconut cream.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
it's like in a ketchup mustard kind of.
Yeah. I know. Okay. There's probably some hair products that look similar. But so there's fake jizz, there's fake squirting. You get what you need.
Yeah, the fake jizz is generally just for pictures. And I've done like one clip where the guy used like, because we shot like 6 clips in a day.
Mm.
So he had like a tube on the side of his dick.
I've heard of
like,
this.
squirted
You know, I've
stuff
seen
through it.
I've seen some stuff where I'm like, yeah, that's physically impossible.
Yeah.
There's so much.
You'd be surprised. Some of these dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. I also feel like
Huge loads.
yeah, I don't know. I'm sure, but I've seen some where I'm like, that is basically Cetaphil coming out of a fire hose. That is like dangerous. What's happening? People could like get
Drowning
hurt.
hazard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's always at a certain angle. It's like above bird's eye view, and I'm like, there's got to be something underneath that's like firing.
I don't know.
Some of them you never know.
Usually they're real.
Okay.
If it's not happening, like if he can't come, sometimes we'll do like fake cream pies. So they'll like pretend that they're coming inside.
Just throw
of
some
you,
recycled
and
jizz in
then,
there.
like put a little squirt of like they'll be like on the girl's face, and then like someone will like squirt a little down there, and then they'll pan down, and he'll pull out. I'm like, oh my god, it's coming out of you. So that's happened before. Don't use coconut cream for that because you'll get a fucking yeast infection.
Oh
But
yeah, that makes sense.
the Cetaphil or Cetaphil or whatever.
You guys
Corn's
are
good for that.
I'm sure experts at the science of fake jizz. Yeah.
So that's happened a couple times.
Okay.
But generally, yeah. As long as they can get something out of their dick, it's good. It's fine.
Right.
You know, some sort of pop shot.
Well, what if it's like, I mean, I've had some loads where I'm like, I don't even want the girl I'm with to see how bad that is. That's just, what is that?
I don't get that. Like, I don't get the embarrassment of that. Is it just because of porn and you see the big loads?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we're all programmed by porn on some level. Yeah. And it's, for the most part, my loads are fine. But there's some where I'm like, that's nothing.
Yeah. But it felt like a full orgasm?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then honestly, less cleanup.
Yeah, totally.
I'm like, I don't want to, like, all over me. Like, I don't know. Like, getting it, they would sometimes like to, like, come on my bush, which like looks cute, like little dewdrops.
But that's a nightmare.
So annoying to get out.
This is gonna be hard to clean up. You know.
Some girls like it in their eyes, which I think is crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I wish
I don't mind seeing it, but I get how that's not fun.
It sells.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, the amount. I think dudes in general are like, if it's really, you know, theoretically big, a lot, the best, you know, then it's the best. Did I hurt them? There's some thought processes like that, and I'm 100% certain that's not universally what women are after.
No, but I could see like some women thinking like, if you didn't come a whole bunch, that like she didn't do a good enough job or something. So I get that, but I mean, I don't know. If it sounds like you fully came, then I wouldn't worry about it.
Well, and also it's like, women don't make you come more.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a bodily thing.
Yeah.
She's not like, oh, I did such a good job. I made him come so much. That's not how that works. You could pre-cum so much, by accident so much, That's actually like those guys you're talking about who come like ounces. Mm-hmm. They do it by accident.
Yeah.
It's like all over the place. People are slipping, running towards it. Yeah. That could happen.
It could.
Yeah. But I do think if you're these guys in general, I mean, you have this is a personal question. I don't know how open you are regarding this. You're having sex with people who aren't porn stars, people who are. Is the ratio? It's way more people who are probably. Currently, no.
I haven't had sex with any porn people, and I mean, I've done some scenes with a few ladies in the last COVID years, but.
Right. Yeah. Currently, you're not shooting. Yeah. So mostly, non-regular old Joes.
One.
Well, okay, one guy. You're in a relationship? Kind of. Yeah.
It seems like it's fizzling out.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, even before I've definitely had sex, obviously more with porn people than.
Yeah, just in total.
Yeah, but even then, I think people think I've had sex with
It's not that many people.
It's not that many.
Yeah.
I didn't shoot that much. I wasn't booked all the time.
Right. Well, and also
you've had sex with 10,000 men.
Well, there needs to be time. There needs to be time between the shoots and on paper you can't even get that. You can't even happen that much. No, a lot of people at once. If you're doing one of those big shoots, that's pretty wide. That's stuff that people don't necessarily fully relate to or haven't done, but some people have. I've done shows in Tampa, Florida. That's just a day. That's a regular day. I guess what I was gonna say is would you say oh man, I just prefer it with a porn star?
No. I've never been in a relationship with someone who is a porn star.
I bet that would be tough.
Possibly.
Who knows?
It might be easier.
Yeah. There's
when you're both
common ground. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. And I also feel like everyone who I don't know. I feel like it's pretty comparable.
Really?
I guess I just
That's. I mean, you know how reassuring that is for, especially my audience. Bunch of guys who are commenting 1 out of 10 on people's videos on YouTube, they love that.
Yeah. I don't think. I mean, I genuinely like the kind of sex that occurs in porn, rougher.
Yeah.
It's like a dance, and I'm not the leader.
Yeah.
Just do what I'm told.
Well, that's really interesting because there are a lot of. I think it's really popular right now for women to be men are learning how to have sex from porn. That's not how you're supposed to. But I'm in a relationship, and we have sex that feels aggressive and certainly has some overlap.
Yeah.
And it seems like we both enjoy it. Nobody's upset.
Yeah.
The notion that that's wrong is just, I think that's incorrect.
Yeah, I just think it's one way to have sex.
Yes,
and I think they're just not looking at also the other ways. There is porn that is softer and more sensual, but it's just not as commonly pirated. Maybe so they're not seeing it.
And maybe not as popular overall. Maybe there's not as huge an audience for it. And popular isn't bad per se. Yeah.
Basic. No, I love it.
And again, I cannot tell you how many guys are just over. They're my sex is as good as a porn star's sex, can be.
It can be.
Yeah.
They're just people,
right?
They're just. And big dicks are not. No.
Can we clip that?
Average is amazing. Like,
right.
It's not that deep. Like,
so are you?
girth.
Growth is important.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hey, you're speaking my language. This is great.
It hurts if it's too long.
It hurts. So do you feel like that's a lot of the faking it in porn is like people pretending that it's not uncomfortable sometimes? Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's so like I don't know if guys even really think about it too much. Like positions can change like whatever position you're in changes like the angle of like the canal and like one position I can go a lot deeper in, and then the other one it's like so painful.
And maybe it looks good, so that's what they're shooting.
Yeah, you have to make it look good for the camera. You have to open for the camera, so like the strokes aren't like you can't like block what you're seeing. So
right,
you have to like open,
right.
then it's coming in at an angle.
No, that's fun. That just makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, it's like it looks good to get fake punched like that, and it's like that's close to real. That hurts. Yeah, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I had I don't have it anymore because I took it out at home. But I had an IUD,
which is that's got to be excruciating if it's.
And
yeah.
I could feel it sometimes on set.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, is it getting dislodged? Is it like tearing into me? Like, what is going on?
Yeah,
it didn't, but it felt like it did.
I
took it out at home.
I bet porn stars avoid IUDs for that reason. Is that
probably
something? Yeah,
but. Some still have them. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, it's a nice, safe bet. Goalkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that checks out.
I did not like it,
but on the show, and I do want to get into like more therapy topics. It sounds like you've been doing a solo podcast where you maybe address some of that sort of stuff you're talking about. We certainly don't have to talk about that necessarily, but we do a segment that we call Ben Changed My Life. Sometimes. I'm Ben. And again, I'm trying to get Chris. I've said this for a few episodes, and Chris is here today, so I'm really trying to hammer this. Trying to get Chris to show a little banner that says "Ben Changed My Life," and then play a song. Actually, my best friend, he did like a fake like R&B song. I'll play it for you at some point.
I would love to hear it.
Yeah, we'll whip that out at some point. Yeah. So this is Ben Changed My Life. I mean, yeah. Picture this if Chris doesn't want to do it. And generally we get questions. Do you have actually? Yeah, there's one question that I could ask, but do you have anything off the top of your head, Calvin? He asked me a lot of dating questions, which are fun. And I do a solo a lot of the time, and then I answer it, but it's fun to both answer together, different perspectives, potentially. You got a question? You want to grab the mic? Maybe
do louder.
Grab Riley's, just so everybody can actually hear. And I'm gonna get my computer to play the song.
All right. Well, do you want me to ask the question while you get your?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah. So my question is that as I'm getting older now, through most of my life, I've kind of avoided being in serious relationships. And I've talked to Ben about this so many times, but I'm in, my normal life, I'm kind of a boring person. All I do is work. And when I'm not working, I'm looking for more work. So I tend to like find chaotic people that I like to be in relationships with because I like having some kind of chaos in my life. And it's obviously not a healthy thing. It's something that like I really just, it's like such a bad thing that I enjoy. I just like having some kind of chaos in my life because everything else I plan out so strictly. And when I try and I meet a girl and I was like, wow, this girl's great, we're on the same level of so many things, but it's just boring. And she's not doing anything wrong. It's just I lose interest so fast, and I'm scared that I've like programmed myself to only like chaos, and I don't know how to deprogram myself because I'm like 30, I'm 31 now. Eventually I'd like to find someone that I could spend maybe the rest of my life with, but
really
it's hard.
Really on the fence about the rest of his life.
Yeah. It's just how do I like deprogram myself from just going straight into like I like this chaos, it's fun, to you know, and to like actually giving a normal person a chance, because it's not like they ever do anything wrong.
What can you define what the chaos is?
The chaos is like, you know, them constantly thinking I'm doing something wrong when I'm not. You know, starting fights,
and he likes that.
Starting fights over nothing.
Riley doesn't even do shoots like this.
Yeah, I'm pretty. I typically will like date multiple people at the same time, and I don't hide it from everyone. Like they know that that's what's happening, and I'll be out with someone, and another girl would know that I'm out with someone, and then they just blow up my phone to like screw up that date with someone else. Yeah, I know it's bad. It's
giving me anxiety.
Yeah, it's just I don't. Yeah, it's I don't know why I like it or how I got into that position.
What do you actually want?
I mean, I would like to get married one day and have like a nice family. And
you want to be like 57 when that happens, something like that.
Yeah. Well, and also like my best friend just got married. You know, to like his basic, like they've been dating for like 10 years, and he's like, wow, he has like a life that like I would like that life one day. You know, she's like the sweetest person in the world. They're like a team. They hardly argue about anything. When they do argue, it's like resolved healthily, you know? I would like that one day. But when I meet those people, it's just I lose interest so quickly because there's no chaos in it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I guess the other, I feel like I'm rambling.
Chris was like, should I say this off mic? How could you have said any of this off mic? You've been going for a minute.
The last thing that someone stuck in my head is that, you know, when you're in your 20s, you know, you should be practicing how to be a good partner in relationships. And I skipped that. And now I'm worried that I didn't get my practice in on how to be a good partner to someone, because it's just me dealing with people blowing up my phone and starting arguments over nothing, and then just enjoying that ride. And now I have that like maybe I'm not good enough for a normal relationship, and that's maybe why I'm losing interest so quickly. So how do I break that cycle?
That's an amazing question. Difficult to answer. Do you have any initial thoughts on that?
I mean, my initial thought is you probably just haven't met them yet, but there are people who can bring that like fun, doesn't have to be negatively chaotic energy, but that you won't just like think they're boring, but they're still like stable and not trying to like pick fights with you all the time. That sounds exhausting.
I also feel like you asked one of the people who's maybe most averse to this possible.
I'm like
a porn star who's like, I don't like the angry scenes.
I get why people like that though, like that.
Well,
because you probably have like good sex too.
Yeah. Heightened emotional states. That's fun.
Like fighting and then fucking. Like I'm sure is like.
Yeah. I've done that. It's long term. It is not fun.
No.
Not fun. A lot of I'm gonna be honest about what I'm picturing right now. A lot of like female ejaculate, like a lot of that stuff, like yelling, and then she has a lot of like stuff coming out. Like she's more into. And I don't know if there's even a correlation there, but I'm like, she's really into this, and we were just screaming at each other, but it's not healthy.
No. Mine just like role play fights.
Well, that was my thought actually, and you got there before I did.
Sorry.
No, you did. You nail it. You gotta marry a porn star, someone who can come home and be like, "What the fuck," and then they don't mean it. You know, elaborate role play, walking through the door. You have whatever you associate the sex, the whatever, the candle humiliation where they drip the oil on or the whatever it is. Yeah, that does. I've never done that. That sounds fun.
Yeah, I like organized chaos.
Yeah,
and it's out there. How are you meeting these chaotic little babes?
Oh, I think I know the rules.
I mean, it's a lot of apps.
Yeah.
Not a huge surprise.
Well, I mean that's how it goes.
Very, very common, but also I feel like that it's maybe more likely with a certain person who's like, we've never met. Let's go meet now, and then like last minute decisions possibly.
Yeah, the best relationships that I've actually been in have all been like I met them in real life. off an app.
Yeah, it's called IRL.
Maybe you should get rid of the apps then.
It's also funny you guys mentioned roleplay because also the best relationship that I've ever been in, she was into roleplay. It was always having me.
Yeah, you gotta find someone.
Pretend to be a different girl every night, and then you won't get bored.
Who's angry at you in a slightly different way. I think it's one of two options. Either you keep going on the shitty path. No, I'm just kidding. I look like Dr. Phil. If you keep doing this, either you continue with the apps, and in your app, first of all, you find a role play app. Maybe there is an app for role play.
I mean, there's like FetLife, but
is that not good? I don't know. I don't even know what that is.
I don't even think there's an app.
I was talking before.
But it's just like a kink.
Okay.
Website
well, there might be. Yeah, you can find a kink that's role play. I was talking before. I was probably most active on Tinder like pre-Uber, and it was back then. Man, was it a good time?
That's the only time I was on Tinder.
It wasn't tainted.
2015.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
And
like
I
20.
only went on like 2 dates.
13, 14. Well, I went on more than 2, and it was
the
fun.
Only dates I've ever been on.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's funny.
I've never really like dated.
Formal dating. Well, you've pretended to date.
I'm like a serial relationship. Like I'm in like relationship back to back.
Serial monogamist.
Bad. Like how close.
That is you can't not be in one.
I haven't been like truly single since I was like 14.
That's interesting. So you've always been in a relationship while shooting?
Yeah.
Huh. And has it affected them at all? No.
I mean, I'm divorced now.
Oh wow. Okay.
So that was my first porn relationship, and they were in the industry, but just not a performer. So it was very easy. Like they just got it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They were on set all the time.
Yeah.
They were very desensitized to it. It was just, it's acting, it's business. So that was very easy. And then this other relationship is non-industry, so it's definitely different.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah. I love relationships.
I bet that's not common in porn.
It's more common than you would think.
Okay,
but there's all sorts of relationships in the industry, but there's a lot of like married with kids and
really,
yeah.
That's cool. Reassuring.
Yeah.
That it's like these people are just like going home, going to soccer games.
That's all I want to do.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Just any soccer game? Or
no, like
your kids' games.
Bake sales and
yeah. No, that's cool.
Hockey practice.
Oh, sure, Canadian
dance.
Hockey practice. Yeah. The other option for Chris, though, there's one more option based on that question. Get off the fucking apps completely. I feel like Chris is getting turned on now because I'm mad.
His nipples are hard.
And go out in the real world, like go do some stuff, and then just pray to God they're into role play. That's an option too.
I would say find an improv girl, but maybe not.
Oh, some girl who does improv? Comedy?
Yeah.
It's either porn or comedy.
Like find a hobby. Like, I don't know, do you like pottery? Like join a pottery studio. They have like fun nights. To be angry. Just somewhere
angry.
They have all sorts of personalities that do pot. Maybe it's like court ordered pottery.
There you go. Yes, community service pottery.
Yeah.
That's good. Or like a Jackson Pollock class where women throw paint at.
You could like get jail pen pals.
Yeah, that's a great one for Chris.
Like ones that are just about to get out.
Yeah, find a woman in prison who isn't a lesbian. That's gonna be tough. Bye.
That's fine.
Yeah, bye. Even better. And some like a woman who could kill you. That's a good option for you. What's more?
Yeah, keep you on your toes.
Yeah, if you want the stakes raised.
Actually, I like that. I like the idea of someone can kill me, but they're not.
You're walking on eggshells at all moments. You could die at any moment. And you're married or whatever. Yeah. That sounds great. Okay, well, that answers the question. We went through a few options.
No more apps.
Prison. If there's a prison app.
At least an app break.
Yeah, app
Try
break.
Something else.
And then just start mailing prisoners. I think that's good. Do you have anything? I do have someone earlier brought this up because I said that you were coming by to do the podcast, and your look has changed, like I talked about. I feel like your old look, whatever that was, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, that's really popular now. Mm-hmm. Do you think you had something to do with that?
I kind of do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when Kristen Stewart buzzed her head.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, did she see my Penthouse cover?
Blonde.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was that because of me? Probably not, but
well, you might have affected the zeitgeist. Yeah.
There was one other, there was Lee Raven, who had a buzz cut, but she was like super alternate. Like she's super tattooed, so I think it wasn't as like I wasn't alternative and had that haircut. So I don't know, maybe. Yeah, I got very popular, especially during COVID.
Yep.
Like lockdown, everyone was buzzing their heads.
Makes complete sense. In hindsight, it makes sense. And also like the Gen Z look, that's kind of what you had like when they were, well, I mean, this is crazy, but this might be the case. They might have been like children watching you. You might have started what Gen Z's doing.
Maybe.
You might have 90s them.
Maybe
90'd them.
Yeah, I buzzed it in 2015.
Because in the 90s, like the green mohawk was popular, and like the shaved blonde, and that kind of cyclically came back. There's like the Nirvana look that's back, and you did it a little before. I don't know. It might have started with you.
Maybe.
And then I guess the next obvious question is, what's the next enormous fad that you're going to start?
I don't know, serial relationships.
I think that's already happening. Kids are going to church again. It's like cool to believe in God for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with God, but it was never cool.
Yeah.
I feel like Kanye's got a church, and like Bieber's in church. I mean, those are bizarre people.
Yeah.
But like celebrity,
I wouldn't do
the best examples. But there are cool trendsetters who are like, you got to go to this church.
Yeah, that just like is so many red flags to me.
Me too. Yeah.
Like, what is that, Hillsong Church or some shit? Like
Beverly Hills, is it?
Hillsong. It's like Chris Pratt's church and Justin Bieber. It's like celebrity culty.
Interesting. Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
No.
I mean, it's pretty close to Scientology at that point.
And I think like Kris Jenner owns a church, I'm pretty sure. Like, did you watch Kardashians? They had this like pastor friend, and now she's like hired him as the pastor. I don't know.
Oh no, I've heard about that. They have a favorite pastor. I do know.
But now he's like in charge of her church, and now I think like the kids like donate to the church. And then, you know how that works. Yeah.
Hey, good for them.
That works.
Well, that just proves that they can make anyone famous and popular. Anybody. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap in a second, unless you have more advice for Chris. If Calvin wants some advice, do you want anything?
The last half of the advice is that I was worried that I didn't get my practice in on how to be a good partner. So is there like, is getting that right? You just gotta put the work in.
Yeah.
It's not like other way around.
I mean, I definitely don't think it's too late.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. Like,
well, if you didn't hear Chris said, how is he going to become a better partner?
Right.
Yeah. It's very hard to hear.
Again, like, I'm 31 now, so I'm worried that maybe I'll walk downstairs and then find the perfect girl, and then it's like, well, all I know is chaos, right? And dealing with that, and not necessarily being like, supportive in all the facets of ways that someone deserves.
I can say from experience. I mean, you're a serial monogamous, so it's a little different. I was not. And now I am in a monogamous relationship. You can learn how to do it. Honestly, if you care enough about the person, you just learn.
Yeah. It
just happens instinctively. And if you don't, you're screaming and there's female jizz, it's. I think that the relationship on some level begets itself. If it's with a crazy person, then it's going to be crazy. And
you're not starting the like. It sounds like
no.
they're starting.
I like that it happens around me.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's exciting.
Just have friends like that, I guess.
He does. Both of these guys love insanity. Calvin shows up like 90 minutes late for shoots. He's the one shooting the thing. He loves like last minute. He's like, we got 1% left. Let's see him. And like, just change the battery.
No, it's good.
And Chris is similar. It's like he kind of likes the drama a little bit. But again, if you find the exact right person, I bet you'll get off on talking about drama in general, but it won't be in the relationship. Yeah.
You can do kooky stuff together and like do, off the wall things, but it doesn't have to be a strain on you guys.
Yeah. I think that's pretty. I think we
no apps.
Completely resolved all of your issues.
You're welcome.
Hey, thank you, Ben and
Cue
Riley.
the song.
Yeah, and we're gonna play it. Okay, get ready for this. I played it last episode too. I'm just gonna start doing it on my computer if you don't want to do it, Chris. No.
Now he's setting it up, so I'm gonna call him out.
I sent it 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah, like 16 episodes, and he only just sent me all the stuff like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do think these guys get off on like, oh, let's last minute. I'm just bad at this. I like didn't send it when I thought I sent it, Okay, get ready for this.
I like that excuse too.
I'm just not good. Feels so awkward listening to this in silence.
I like it.
You like it? Yeah. I'm gonna play the
It sounds like Kip from Napoleon Dynamite.
That's funny. Yeah, totally. I think it's funny, like with the little emblem playing it. I think that'll sound good. The thing that he says after 15 seconds, I'm like, why did you say that? That has nothing to do with. I don't know what you're saying.
Wait, that's not you singing?
No. That's my best friend. Yeah, I mentioned to him that I was gonna do something called Ben Changed My Life, and he was like, "Oh, let me take care." And then he just sent that to me.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's catchy.
I'm also kind of embarrassed that you think that was me, but that's all right.
I thought it was you being funny.
No, that's fine. It is funny.
I didn't like.
No, it's fine. It is
be
funny.
Embarrassed about.
If I was singing and playing it for a guest on the podcast, there's so many tears of embarrassment there.
I understand.
Yeah, I don't sing. That would be really weird if I did that.
Yeah, there's
you
definitely.
Sing?
Yeah.
Probably well,
but not. I think so, but I'm like not in front of. It's weird the things that I'm like embarrassed and shy to do in front of people.
That makes sense.
Like this is fine. I can have sex in front of people.
Yeah.
But like I cannot like talk to a crowd.
Big crowds.
Be on a stage. Not even a big, just like
any
class presentation.
Interesting.
Absolutely not.
Stage
I grew up dancing.
But no public speaking. Movement is fine.
Movement's fine.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to be alone on stage. Now is a little different because I've done other things, but yeah, talking on stage, sing.
No, that's interesting. I kind of I do identify with that on some level, like because I played sports in high school and a little bit in college, and it's like you think, oh, I'm comfortable in front of crowds because I can like play a basketball game, but it's not the same thing as speaking. It's a whole different skill set. And I like public speaking, but the transition is not natural from moving to speaking. Yeah. Well, there's so much adrenaline. There's like a natural focus and adrenaline when there's movement.
Yeah.
And when you have to speak, you're like, whoa, look, I can make eye contact. This is bizarre. Yeah. No, I get that. And I hear most of the world agrees with you. That's like one of the top fears.
Yeah.
I'm sure if they put on that list doing porn, a lot of people would say that is too.
It's just so different.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah. I mean, the acting part is like embarrassing.
Yeah, before the second.
Like, yeah. It's not as bad anymore, but it was definitely like.
There's a learning curve. Did you take acting classes?
No. Hell no.
I was going to say for Chris also, there's an acting class called Meisner where people just repeat something at each other and they kind of yell it.
Oh.
It's like, this is a microphone, and you have to repeat what they. So you're like, this is a microphone, and then by the end of it, they're like, this is a mic. They're like screaming.
That's the whole thing?
Pretty much. You're learning how to emote without words. That's the idea. If Chris went to one of those classes, he could find some insane women who would scream at him for no reason. That could be good too. Either Meisner or a criminal, or if it's ever happened, a criminal who's taken Meisner. That would be good too, which I'm sure is not common. Yeah, like really esoteric acting classes, and she killed somebody. That's it's possible. Well, I guess we're ending on sort of. Should I just play the song again? What?
Yeah.
Do you want plugs? You got to plug stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
Hi. My Instagram is Riley Nixon. My Twitter is Riley Nixon _ OnlyFans is Riley Nixon _. But all of my websites are at riley-nixon.com.
Great. Oh yeah.
My podcast is called From Manitoba with Love, and it's at riley-nixon.com. All my links are there.
Great. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
I hope you had a good time.
Yeah.
And we're gonna close. Oh wait.
Hit it.
Yeah, I gotta pull it up again. Cut it.
Nice.